Welcome to the Authority Advantage podcast. I'm Modesta Mahiga, your host and the founder and CEO of Authority Global LLC. Today's topic, they're not it. Who got you here won't get you there, was inspired by the phenomenon of misaligned social media engagement. What is that? This phenomenon occurs when your posts attract reactions from an audience that cannot open next level opportunities for you. And therefore, really, you have no business tailoring your messages to. But for reasons we'll address today, people seem to continue to engage with this audience. Let me be blunt. One of the most dangerous things that can happen to your career is being celebrated by people who cannot advance it. Although applause feels like progress, often the very audience applauding you is the audience keeping you exactly where you are. Today, I want to challenge a belief many successful leaders never question. That belief that the audience who helped you become successful is the audience who helped you become more successful. Often, they're not. This is not abandoning relationships. Neither is it about forgetting the people who supported your journey. It is about understanding that every level of leadership has a different audience. The people who helped you become a manager are not necessarily the people who help you become an executive. The people who helped you become an executive are not necessarily the people who help you become a CEO. The people who helped you become a CEO are not necessarily the people who help you become a board chair, advisor, investor, or recognized authority in your sector or the world. Yet many leaders continue investing most of their time, energy, and visibility in the audience that helped them reach their current level. Then they wonder why opportunities plateau despite them showing up daily to chase them. It has everything to do with their target audience. Most leaders stay with the wrong audience for 4 reasons. First, familiarity. We naturally gravitate toward people who know us, respect us, and understand our value. Second, investment. We spent years building relationships, credibility, and influence within a particular ecosystem and continue investing there long after it has stopped serving our ambitions. Third, ego. We enjoy being recognized. We enjoy being the expert. We enjoy walking into rooms where our reputation precedes us. And fourth, fear. The next audience often requires us to become unknown again before we become known again. Combined, these forces create a dangerous illusion, the illusion of progress. Because the applause continues even while the opportunities plateau. Think about how this shows up in practice. An executive wants board appointments, but spends most of her time with operational leaders rather than board directors. A consultant wants larger clients, but spends most of his time speaking to peers and current clients rather than buyers. A country leader wants international influence, but invests almost exclusively in local visibility. None of these leaders have a capability problem. They have an audience problem. And audience problems eventually become opportunity problems. This is why I believe one of the greatest threats to authority building is not rejection. It is acceptance, not being ignored, but being celebrated by the wrong people. Because being celebrated feels like evidence that you're winning. Your posts are getting engagement, people recognize your name, people invite you to speak, people compliment your work. People tell you how valuable you are. And slowly, you begin to mistake validation for advancement. They are not the same thing. There are leaders listening right now who are highly respected inside their organizations and industries, yet invisible to boards, invisible to investors, invisible to appointing authorities, invisible to decision makers capable of changing the trajectory of their careers and businesses. They've mastered relevance at one level while remaining largely unknown at the next. And that is where authority becomes important. Authority is not popularity. Authority is not visibility for its own sake. Authority is not becoming known by everyone. Authority is becoming known by the right people. The question is not who likes your content. The question is who needs to see it. The question is not who follows you. The question is who endorses you. The question is not how many people know your name. The question is whether the people who can influence your future know your name. Many leaders are building authority for yesterday's opportunity while hoping to be selected for tomorrow's. I might just have to repeat that. Many leaders are building authority for yesterday's opportunity while hoping to be selected for tomorrow's. Let's say you want a board appointment. If the people appointing boards never encounter your thinking, why would they select you? If you want larger investors, but they never encounter your expertise, why would they trust you? If you want international influence, but your reputation exists only within one market, how would global opportunities ever find you? The leaders who rise fastest understand something most people never learn. The goal is not broad visibility. The goal is strategic visibility. They know exactly who must trust them, exactly who must endorse them, exactly who must remember them, exactly who must select them. Everything else becomes secondary. This is where the authority assessment framework becomes useful. What do you want to be known for? Does everything about your professional presence reinforce that positioning? Do the people you want to influence trust your judgment? If they search you today, what evidence would they find? Who is already trusted by the audience you want to influence and willing to transfer trust to you? Those questions reveal authority gaps remarkably quickly. And they reveal something else. Authority is rarely a capability problem. It is usually a positioning problem. So let me leave you with a simple exercise. Think about the opportunity you most want over the next 3 years. A board seat, an executive promotion, an advisory role, a larger client, an international appointment, an industry platform. Whatever it is, now ask yourself, who specifically would need to know, trust, endorse, and remember me for that opportunity to become possible? Not everyone. Specifically, who? Then ask yourself, am I intentionally building authority with that audience? Or am I still performing for yesterday's audience? Because your answer may explain everything. Your next level is rarely found among people celebrating who you have been. It's usually among people evaluating who you are becoming. And that means there comes a point in every leader's journey where they must choose between validation and selection. The audience that applauds you is not always the audience that advances you. If today's conversation exposed a gap between where you are and where you want to be, I invite you to book an executive authority diagnostic. Together, we will assess your positioning, authority signals, visibility, credibility, endorsement ecosystem, and readiness for the opportunities you want to attract. You will leave with clarity on what is working, what is missing, and what needs to change. You can book your executive authority diagnostic through the link in the show notes. Remember, becoming a global authority requires you to be trusted, endorsed, and selected by the gatekeepers at that level that you aspire to reach. That requires you to let go of your current crowd. Book an executive authority diagnostic to find out how. The link is in the show notes. Until next time, I'm Modesta Mahiga. Thank you for joining me on the Authority Advantage podcast.